Hello, Goobers! Today's video is going to be something a little different than usual. I feel like I said that a lot, but this time it's like genuinely very different than anything I've really posted. Today I'm going to be getting into my own personal predictions and theories for The Boys Season 3, and also I guess the last episode of Season 2. If you guys don't follow The Boys, watch it, it's good. If you guys are watching and you are not fully caught up to episode 7 of Season 2, please do not watch this video. This is your official spoiler warning because I've seen it and I'm going to talk about what happened in it. So I watched episode 7 of season 2 recently, and then I rewatched it the next day. It was freaking crazy. Everything went down. Heads, so many people exploded, literally. The first theory I'm going to be getting into is probably my biggest and my most out there theory, but given what happens in episode 7, I'm pretty sure I figured it out. Or not all of it, but a piece of it. My theory is that Victoria Neuman is the head exploder. I wrote down, Victoria Neuman is the soup who can explode heads. I also think that she and Stormfront are secretly working together to create a false dichotomy, much like in the real United States. Part of the reason why I was suspicious of Victoria Neuman isn't because of necessarily anything that she's done on the show so far. It's more because she hasn't been murdered yet. And I feel like given how it's really easy for characters to just get killed off, especially when they're like threatening Vought or threatening the boys, they'll just get murdered. So seeing as how she hasn't been murdered yet, and I feel like since she is one of the people who is very actively against Vought, and if Vought was behind the head exploding thing, I'm pretty sure she would have also been killed, and she very specifically was one of the people who didn't die. I think that she's the head exploder person. I think she's a secret soup in disguise, and I really do think that she and Stormfront, or she and Vought, or she and someone are working together to create, like I was saying, a fake dichotomy. Oftentimes, especially politically speaking, so many candidates on opposite party ends are secretly like, they have very similar morals and ethics and stuff, so it's kind of like, are y'all really that different? With saying that, I also, like, I do not think that Susie is the head exploder. If you see the way that she, like, implodes people, I don't really know how to describe it, but, like, her ability to explode or implode or whatever the frick you want to call it looks visually different from the head exploding, and I think that either A, she's, like, thinking ahead, being like, alright, if I explode people in different ways, they won't think it's me, or, like, it's just not her. I think Susie is a red herring for as far as, like, who the head exploder is gonna be. I think her character is gonna be more important in season 3, just because she hasn't been used, but she's super powerful and she did show up. She's supposed to be there for us to think that it's her. Why would she want to help Vought? If Vought is the company that kidnapped her and all those other people and started doing experiments on them, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that Stockholm Syndrome is a thing, but I really don't think she would have wanted to help Vought by exploding people who are going to expose them, if that makes sense. She's definitely, like, not even on my radar when it comes to who the head exploder is. I genuinely think that it's Victoria Neuman, or a character that we haven't even met yet, so... But I do think it's Victoria. If it wasn't her, I feel like she would have been killed by now. I don't see many people discussing that theory, and I don't see many people thinking that it's her, and I just have this feeling about her. I mean, I don't dislike her as a character, but I'm just wondering, like, why are you so safe? Why did you survive the head explosion? If whoever exploded the heads left her to survive, they would know that this tragedy would light a fire under her ass, and she would try even harder to get Vought to be taken down. So I'm just suspicious as to why she survived that situation. I also think that the Church of the Collective might be behind the head exploding thing. Shockwave, right? That's his name? Shockwave? The other speedy guy, his head exploded, and the Church of Collective was talking about how they were trying to get a meeting with Edgar so that they could get the Deep and A-Train back into the 7. There's a chance that they might be behind the attack because at least then, if A-Train can get back into the 7 and then the Deep, they already have like only like 4 people left, like they might as well just let the Deep in. They might also be working with Victoria Neuman, or maybe just alone and they exploded the heads, but I'm coming back to Victoria. I'm suspicious of her because I'm like, how have we not been assassinated yet then? Anywho, I think that in some way Black Noir is connected to Stan Edgar. Clearly Vought is run by fascists, xenophobes, people who are also I'm sure that they're into eugenics, so they're not great people, right? So you're kind of probably asking yourself as a fan, why would a black man want to be the CEO of a company that is so blatantly racist and terrible? I get that, like, money is a thing, so, you know, he could be getting paid millions and millions of dollars. I'm sure he is. He's the CEO of a company or whatever. I don't really know his actual job title, but whatever. For him to, number 1, be offered the job, and number 2, to actually accept the job, he has to either be a soup of some sort or be connected to Vought in a way that would make him want to stay there, because I know that companies that are racist still work with black people, but I feel like wouldn't the black person kind of be like, fuck you and what you believe in. Like, Stan Edgar has to be making bank, and I also feel like he has some personal stake in it. Something's keeping him there. Something made him want the job in the first place. So I have some kind of feeling that like maybe his son was sick or something or dying, and so they put Compound V inside of him, and then Black Noir was the superhero who he grew up to be. Black Noir is basically like the lapdog of Stan Edgar. He'll do whatever Stan Edgar says, so clearly like the two of them are connected in a way where Black Noir wouldn't want to betray Stan. I don't even know if he's gonna be alive since he was fed poison, but I have a feeling they're not just gonna kill him off like that. Like, I think he's gonna like recoup, come back, and be revealed. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen in the end of season 2 or if it's gonna happen in season 3, but I feel like we're gonna find out eventually. They literally showed us his chin, so I feel like that's just, they're like, hey, little sneak preview. Okay, my next theory is that the kidnapping of Ryan, although like when it happens in the episode, it sucks because you're watching a child get kidnapped from their mother, but I have a feeling it's gonna be the undoing of Homelander and Stormfront. It was too easy for them. You kind of saw how in whatever episode it was in season 2 when he like pushed Ryan off the roof, you saw Ryan be like, I hate you, and then later he's like, just kidding, I love you. You might kind of realize like, okay, mom lied to me, but she was just trying to protect me. But I feel like that whole kidnapping thing was way too easy for them. It's gonna fuck them up. Ryan's gonna like go crazy and maybe even kill Homelander, because there's a chance that he's actually as powerful as Homelander, or has the potential to be, because he's his son and has his genetic superpowers, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so now let's move on to my predictions for season 3. I don't have that many. I really have no clue what the frick's gonna happen, especially since we haven't seen the end of season 2 yet. There's no cliffhangers for me to dissect yet. I think in season 3, I have a feeling that Soldier Boy is going to be like some sort of comedic relief, or like he's going to end up being on the side of the boys. I don't know why, but I have a feeling, given the fact that in the comics he was supposed to be this like cool soldier that they created, but he was like a general failure and more of just like a figurehead propaganda kind of thing for the first ever superheroes. But I have a feeling that he's gonna either be like super evil and like even scary. I don't know. I just feel like because he was such a failure of a experiment when he originally happens in the comics, he's gonna come back and help the boys. Alright, the last thing I'm gonna talk about is A-Train, because for some reason, I don't know why, but I love him, even though he kind of like ran into Robin and murdered her, but I still like his character, and I think he's gonna have a redemption arc. I have this whole feeling that like, given how they set up where like the Deep was complaining to him, like, you tried to ruin my whole career, yada yada, I feel like the Deep is gonna get super sucked into the Church of the Collective, and then A-Train will like kind of help pull him out. But even outside of the Deep, because who really cares what happens to him, I think A-Train is going to be radicalized against superheroes and against the Church of the Collective, and he's going to end up actually helping the boys. A lot of stuff happened to his character this season, but I feel like he's not getting as much screen time as I personally would like, and I'm very intrigued by his character, so yeah, that's probably wishful thinking. I know that Queen Maeve technically has already helped the boys in the sense that she's helped Annie several times. The secret soft spot for Annie she has is going to be her undoing. Like, she will help the boys in some fashion, but much like in the comics, I'm pretty sure she's going to get murdered. Maybe not by Homelander, but I just feel like what they're doing with her in this season, like, it's not going to end well for her. And also, like, you know how, even though her character is not lesbian, she's bisexual, you know how TV shows love killing off the gays. I guess my biggest theory was the Victoria Neuman one, and I feel like not that many people are talking about it, and it wasn't until this episode that I really kind of got suspicious of her because she survived the head explosion. I like rewatched it a bunch to like make sure, because I thought like, oh, maybe she died and I just missed it, but like, she survived. She does seem traumatized by the whole situation, but that could also just be her like acting the part. She also could just be a good guy or someone who's trying to fight for social change in a good way, you know? That's totally an option. That could be 100% what's happening. So those are my theories. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have any theories. If you watch it, let me know. If you read the comic books, if you like those better or worse and why, anything you want to say, just comment down below and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe so you can become a goober. That's all you gotta do. You subscribe and then boom, you're a goober. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I will see you in the next one.